So I took these two cameras down to Cornwall, south of England on a trip recently, and I've got some thoughts and pros and cons of which camera you should buy in this video today. They are both great cameras, probably in the top 5 of action cameras you should be looking at in 2024. I fully expect that to change throughout the year because we'll have some new releases, but these are both great action cameras at the moment. Let me know in the comments down below what you think before you leave this video. Give this video a like as well, it really does help, and subscribe because we've been covering a lot in 2024 on action cameras in general, so stick around if you like that kind of content. First of all, let's talk about the price, because they are similar but different in some ways, because the GoPro 12 is £399 here in the UK at the moment. The Ace is £359 here in the UK. Obviously prices vary, but there is one difference when it comes to sort of what you're going to be using this camera for. If you want the Horizon lock, which is where the horizon just totally stays dead center no matter which way you turn the camera around, then you have to buy the Max Lens mod for the GoPro 12, and that adds about another £100 onto the price of this camera. So you're looking at about £479 here in the UK. With the Ace, it has the new free frame mode built into this, albeit with a little bit of a crop, but you can still shoot 4K 60 with 360 Horizon lock, and that's built into the camera. You don't need any extra accessories, so you're still getting that for £359. So it's about £120 difference if that's the feature you're looking for in the action camera. So that's one thing I noticed first of all about this camera. Let's talk image quality then, because I've sort of put them side by side. The GoPro has a 1/1.9 inch sensor, shoots 5.3K up to 60 frames per second, and the Ace has a 1/2 inch sensor, and that's the main difference between the Ace and the Ace Pro. The Ace has a 1/2 inch sensor compared to the 1/1.3 inch sensor on the Ace Pro. It's one of the differences anyway, and you don't have the Leica lens on the Ace, so that's why you're not paying as much for the Ace as you would do for the Ace Pro. When you put these two cameras together, the GoPro does have an advantage. There is a noticeable sharpness advantage, especially when you're shooting 4K on this and 5.3K on the GoPro. The Ace can shoot up to 6K, and yeah, that does give it another slight bump up in sharpness and image quality. But for me, image quality and sharpness aren't the things I'm looking for out of action cameras, but we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Both of these have 60 frames, 24, 25. They can both shoot slow motion up to 240 frames per second. They both have time lapse, time shift, time warp. No matter which sort of mode you're looking for when it comes to shooting video, you've got it. You can shoot photos on this as well. You can shoot up to 48 megapixel photos on the Ace, which is more or less double that of the GoPro. But you know, something that I don't generally do with action cameras, but if you want that option, you've got that in both of these. So the Ace does have a slightly smaller sensor compared to the GoPro and compared to the Ace Pro. You've still got all the other software modes inside of this, like the pure video mode for great low light performance. So they're using all the AI capabilities and the 5nm chip that you've got in this camera to give the image that software enhancement in post-production. So yeah, you're still getting great image out of this, and side by side, for me, the GoPro noticeably is sharper, but I don't really think that's the look I'm looking for personally. Everybody's different, everybody has their own preferences, of course, but to me, the Ace just looks that little bit more pleasing to the eye. The colours are nice, the skin tones to me are a little bit more pleasing, and you know, we can talk about skin tone, sharpness, focus, all those kind of things until the cows come home, but at the end of the day, it comes down to user experience to me a lot of the time. So image quality for me is probably only 25% of what you're going to use this camera for, and the Ace, when it comes to user experience and other features, wins hands down. It really does. So that is probably the theme going through this video. If you want the ultimate best image quality, then the GoPro still has that edge, I think, but the Ace and the Ace Pro just have everything else compared, AI features, the app. So let's talk about those other things as well. Mounting options, I love the fact that you've got this new magnetic mount on the Ace and the Ace Pro. I actually fit this magnetic mount onto the bottom of the GoPro, which is this one, so that allows it to be used with the DJI magnetic mount, and I just find those mounting systems, the magnetic mounting systems, a lot easier when it comes to shooting in different scenarios. So like if you want to take this off and put it on a bicycle mount on your helmet, or you can put it on another tripod, or you want to put it on your bike on the front to mount it, it. So that's what I do. I change all my GoPro mounts to these magnetic mounts, and I hope that's something GoPro do in 2024. Add a magnetic mount to their system so you can quick switch cameras here, there and everywhere depending on how you're using it. For me, because I do YouTube videos, I swap the cameras around from different mounting options a lot, and having that magnetic mounting option on the Ace is a lot better. So this one comes in the box. You can buy other mounting accessories, ones with 1/4 inches on the bottom as well if you want to, so I fully recommend that. I'll link everything in the description. So the mounting option for me on the Ace is far superior. I really hope GoPro go that way with the GoPro 13 this year. GoPro actually removed GPS out of the GoPro 12, presumably to save on battery life or solve some of those overheating issues I've had in the past, but something you haven't got in the GoPro is GPS anymore. With the Ace and the Ace Pro, you've got GPS, but they've actually added the ability to connect it to your Apple Watch, so you can use all the Apple Watch GPS data, or you can connect it to Garmin devices. It's the only action camera company that actually have a third-party connection with different companies to actually use their GPS stuff as well, so you can use that. They've actually brought out a new accessory which is like an Apple Watch, where you can preview your screen, and it is a GPS remote. So it's like a new accessory that's coming out soon. I'm in the middle of reviewing it, but I'm a little bit behind at the moment, but that video will be coming soon. So if you're new to the channel, please do make sure you subscribe. It looks like a fantastic accessory, and if you've got either the Ace or the Ace Pro, probably a must-have to buy. We're out in the woods. We're taking this Ace out for a bit of a spin on the mountain bike at the moment. We're out in Cannock Chase. There's some amazing trails here, which is really fun. I'm definitely out of shape, but it's so much fun testing these cameras and riding the mountain bike. So yeah, we're just a bit of a crossroads here. We're going to see which way we go and just test out this camera and see what it looks like compared to the GoPro 12. So come along for the ride. When it comes to smart recording options and AI capabilities, that's where the Insta360 Ace and Ace Pro really take it to another level when it comes to user experience. And if you use these cameras every day, it's something you really do notice. Trust me, it's something that I notice because I use these every day. It really does make a difference to the way you shoot. Like cancel recording, you can sort of just hold down the shutter button to cancel recording if you don't like what you're shooting, and it deletes it. Saves storage, saves time. It really is a great feature. You can pause recording. You can also start recording over previous clips you've recorded, so you can add it in camera, so you don't have to sort of go and record another clip and edit in post-processing. You can do that in camera. You can go back into clips you've recorded and edit those clips and export them as multiple clips or as a separate clip. So there's so many options, and then you can export it to the application. The Insta360 app is leaps and bounds ahead of any other manufacturer on the market at the moment, really. They've recently added that AI Warp, which is a great effect, uses the AI capabilities of the camera to just sort of add bits of creativity to your footage. You can edit your footage within the app as well using the AI, or you can just use all the really advanced editing software options within the application. It really is great, and that, like I've mentioned, that's where Insta360 really do excel in the market at the moment. it really does boil down to how you're going to be using your action camera. We can talk about performance, we can talk about image quality until we're blue in the face. We can, analyze sharpness, we can talk about skin tones, we can talk about the orange in the color. But for me, action cameras aren't really about that. Yeah, we want to have good image quality, and you get that with all of these cameras. But when it comes to using them every day, the user experience of the Ace and the Ace Pro is just far more seamless, and just they've really thought about how people use these cameras. And being someone who does use these cameras every day, you can take it from me, the Insta360 is a lot more enjoyable to use. The GoPro for me is still a little bit clunky. The menu system I'm not a massive fan of. The GoPro has log in here because we've got the HDR in the Ace, and you have got log option in there to get a nice high dynamic range, but it's sort of well renowned to be not the best log footage, so not something I use all the time. There's no real creativity options when it comes to the GoPro. The app isn't very advanced, and it's just sort of plug and play. You just press go and it records, and for some people that is okay, but for me the Ace is just far more advanced. And the touch sensitivity as well is just more iPhone-like. It's a lot faster, the startup is faster, the record options are faster. So for me, the Ace is the camera I would pick up if I was leaving the house right now, and the GoPro is not something I use a lot, and that is just my honest opinion about these two cameras. So, if you do want to purchase either of these, like I said, there is links in the description down below. They both give you great image quality, and so for some people that's okay, but for everybody else I think you should be looking at how you use these cameras every day, and the Ace is the one that I would choose for that purpose. Okay, that's it for this one. I hope it helped in some kind of way. If you've got any more questions, then leave me a comment in the comment section down below. I'll always try and answer all of them, and we'll be following up on both these cameras and subsequent cameras that are released in the future this year, hopefully. So it's going to be an exciting 2024. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.